All right, let's talk about something so many of us are feeling but can't always put a finger on. It's this weird disconnect, right? This growing gap between what a middle class income should feel like and the actual reality of all that financial pressure. Wow, yeah, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? On paper, the numbers say you're doing okay, maybe even great. But then you look at your bank account at the end of the month and it's telling a totally different story. So, what is really going on here? For generations, this was the classic picture of the American dream. This was the goal. It wasn't about being mega rich, it was just about being, well, secure, a life where you could be comfortable. But the real question is, how achievable is this vision today? Okay, so let's be clear about what we're even talking about when we say middle class. Officially, we're looking at this income range. And you see those numbers, especially near the top end, and you think, hey, that sounds pretty good. It really seems like it should be more than enough to get by, to build that life we just saw. And that is the million-dollar question. If the income numbers look solid, why is that feeling of security just missing for so many people? This is where we have to stop looking at the paycheck and start looking at where every single one of those dollars is going. So let's do that. Let's follow the money. We're going to break down where that seemingly solid income actually goes, because this is where that silent squeeze becomes really, really clear. Okay, look at this. The first thing that just jumps right off the screen is how huge one of these slices is. Housing is eating up nearly half the monthly budget. Financial experts are always saying to keep housing costs around 30%, but for millions of people, it's a pipe dream. It's not even possible. And this number right here is a huge reason why. $400,000. And remember, that's the average. If you're in or near a major city, that number can be way, way higher. This single cost has become the biggest financial hurdle for so many. After you figure out a roof over your head, you've got this other massive cost lurking in the background. We're talking about healthcare. It's so unpredictable, and the cost can be absolutely devastating, even if you do everything right and have insurance. And here's the thing you've got to understand. Just having insurance isn't some magic shield. You're paying those premiums every single month. Then you have a crazy high deductible you have to pay off before the real coverage even starts. Adding copays for every single visit, and it's no wonder one unexpected trip to the ER can suddenly cost thousands of dollars you just don't have. Okay, next up, the simple act of getting around. For most of us, a car isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. You need it to get to work, to get groceries, but once you add up the car payment, the insurance, the gas, the maintenance, boom, another huge chunk of your income is gone before you've even made it to the grocery store. And for any parents with young kids watching this, this number is just staggering. In a lot of places, putting one kid in childcare costs as much as a mortgage payment. Got two kids? Forget about it. It can easily become the single largest expense your family has, period. So when all this money is flying out the door for housing, healthcare, and just living, what's the first thing to go? What gets sacrificed? Well, all too often, it's savings. It's that financial cushion that's supposed to be there to catch you. This right here might be the single most shocking number we're going to look at. After every bill is paid, for a huge number of middle-class families, this is what's left. Less than $1,000. Not for a vacation, but for an emergency. A blown transmission, a broken arm, a sudden layoff. And what does that actually mean, living with no safety net? Well, it means this. It means you are constantly, and I mean constantly, one bad day away from a total financial crisis. There's just no room for error. That stability that used to define the middle class, it's been replaced by a feeling of complete fragility. Walking this kind of financial tightrope every single day, it's not just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It takes a serious toll. It has a huge impact on your mental and emotional well-being. And that's the tricky part, isn't it? On the outside, to your friends and neighbors, everything might look just fine. But on the inside, there's this constant humming background noise of stress. It's that feeling of working harder than ever before, but somehow never, ever getting ahead. It's just a deep uncertainty about what the future is going to look like. So let's pull all these threads together. What is this new reality we're talking about? What does this silent squeeze actually look like when you put it all together? Here it is, laid out plain and simple. It's a race between your income and the actual cost of living. And for decades now, It's been a race that incomes are losing. The costs of the absolute essentials, housing, healthcare, education, just getting around, they've been rising so much faster than paychecks. And that leads us to the core idea here. It's not that the middle class is just vanishing overnight in some dramatic collapse. No, it's something quieter. It's a slow, steady squeeze, a gradual wearing down of financial security that's happening behind closed doors in millions of homes. Which really brings us full circle, back to this final powerful thought. A number on your tax return just doesn't tell the whole story, does it? The real measure of your quality of life is your lived reality. It's the stress, the trade-offs, the constant pressure. And it really leaves you wondering, if the numbers don't match the feeling, what does financial security even mean anymore?